Dear entrepreneurs, it's Roberto, and I'm simultaneously the best and the worst boss that I have ever had. Some of you probably think I'm just trying to be cute making that statement, but I am dead serious. As far as employers go, I am simultaneously the best and worst boss I've ever had because I'm probably the most demanding boss that I've had out of anybody, but at the same time, I'm fair and I'm very practical and I don't ask for more of anybody else, i.e. myself. Let me rephrase that another way. I don't give myself tasks that are impossible or unreasonable for myself. My standards are high, but they're not unattainable. My self-awareness means that I understand my limitations. I know what I am and am not capable of, and I also know what motivates and excites me to do any type of work or any type of project. A lot of employers are not capable of having employee empathy. The opposite's also true. A lot of employees are not capable of having employer empathy. And this is still true for many people who are their own boss and who are entrepreneurs because they lack self-awareness. As I scale and grow and am more honest with myself, I don't run into these barriers that you would in hiring an employee and not understanding their needs and their values and how to best utilize them in a business. And as an employee, I also am not working against the grain of things that just aren't reasonable or practical given the situation or don't put me in a position to win and play to my strengths. That is so rare, whether you work for someone else or whether you work for yourself. And that's just the truth of the matter. And there's not really an answer for it except better communication and really desiring to want to be the better person and give the most value, even if it means leaving something on the table. The relationship that I have with all of you as viewers is something I don't take for granted. It's something that actually means a lot to me. I mean, you guys see that I reply so much in the comments, but it's because I get it. I only 2.5 years ago started doing this seriously. And so I understand what it means to have somebody that you respect, someone you admire, offer you a small fraction of their day and their attention, and really care about helping you and bettering you. I understand what that means and how significant it is, so I don't take it for granted, and it's why I'm so adamant about respecting our relationship and giving you that value. Even though from a business and entrepreneur standpoint, it's not practical at all for me to do, and I could not answer my comments every day and literally make an extra $300 or $500 a day by not taking the time to answer these comments. And by the way, that's not like an arbitrary number. That's like a real legit number, and I might actually be somewhat downplaying that number. Hashtag modest brag, but not really. I'm just trying to really practically make you guys understand how valuable not only my time is, but your time. Like the time you take to develop a system around something, you start to realize, and then also when you scale your active income hours, you start to realize the actual dollar amount tied to watching an episode of Scandal or Game of Thrones. You start to actually realize the dollar amount tied to taking a phone call or email. When I get client calls that aren't consulting, I am literally locking my clients into 5 and 15 minute time constraints because it is that much of a value drain for dollars on my time if I don't. And I know that if I give the time constraint, they will adhere to it. They will tell me what they need to tell me in 5 minutes or 15, and they will use all of it. If I gave them an hour, they would use all of it, and then that's a crap ton of money for me, but also a crap ton of my life that went away to not make money. But at the same time, I want to respect my relationships, but I also want to respect other people's time too, because the time they're on the phone with me, they're not making money either. And so the part of me that's a good boss gives me just enough leeway to be experimental and to do things that make sense for me, but also fulfill me creatively and as a human being and emotionally and my legacy value. And then the part of me that's a bad boss probably doesn't give me enough structure, probably doesn't hold me nearly accountable enough, probably isn't stringent enough. But then the part of me that's a bad boss is also sometimes too fiscally conservative. I make investments and I take risk, but I also am way too slow on some of that stuff. And I'm too tight-fisted sometimes about cash flow, and in the long run it ends up being bad. Sometimes, for the purposes of how I like things reflecting on the books, I make stupid decisions like waiting to buy a plane ticket when I have the money there and should just buy it, and then because I decide to wait, it cost $100 more, and that's stupid. I should have bought it when it was cheap. Or I won't do a lightning deal on Amazon and I miss saving 30% on the thing that I was going to buy no matter what. So that's the things where I'm a bad boss, is I make decisions sometimes that are too far to the right in practicality, and also too left in the sense of loose, creative, and lack of structure. I have to balance chaos and order because it's who I really am. I need just enough chaos to keep things interesting and to excite me and to make me rise to my full potential, but I need enough structure to eliminate my anxiety and not let me feel overwhelmed. And sometimes, as a boss, I'm a very bad manager of that, but I also am a good boss in the sense that I'm empathetic enough to let that be okay and not let that be something to punish or to be soul-crushing, and just understand that we're going to have to figure it out. The other thing about being my own boss is I have to figure out what the most effective usage of my time is sometimes. And the reality is sometimes I don't know, because it could be predicated on whatever I think the future is doing in the marketplace. It could be what I think you guys need the most from me, or it could be what would personally be the most exciting or fulfilling or challenging to me, because my biggest problem is sometimes I don't have a big enough mountain to climb to get me motivated to do things, and I procrastinate. So that's a problem for me sometimes. Sometimes I need enough stress to be on the hook for something to make me actually do it. The accountability of the relationship with you guys is what makes me consistent in YouTube and in my other content and in my social media. Knowing that you guys expect me to show up, knowing that you guys care about it, knowing that it makes a difference in your lives, that actually holds me accountable more than anything else. So the problem in being a solo entrepreneur is I don't have enough people actively, sometimes face-to-face with me, to hold me the appropriate amount of accountable. Which, by the way, my question for today is, out of all the things I can do, what do you guys need or want from me the most? I.e., I need to know in the comment section if you want to do, and by the way, it is paid, one-on-one consulting with me. I need to know if you want that. I need to know if you want info products from me in the form of ebooks and online courses. I need to know whether or not you want motivational videos and short films from me. I need to know whether you want audio motivational tapes. I need to know whether or not you want video guides that are training, that are like 3 and 6 hours long of premium training. I need to know if you want me to do like paid virtual workshops. If you want me to do speaking engagements in your hometown or in your city. I need to know if you can help me get there, if you can talk to people who have an event that can bring me there so that we can meet up and so I can give you the most maximum value and I can do my thing on stage and really help you out and really pump you up and answer your questions. So I need to know, how do I give you my best? How do I give you my maximum value? Because the reality is sometimes I really just don't know what it is, aside from the big projects that I know I have that are set in stone. Sometimes I don't know what to give you guys. I don't know what you need from me, and I need you to tell me, and I'm more than happy to listen. So in the comment section, what out of all the things I listed, or if there's something else I haven't, tell me what you want, tell me what you need in the form of a product or a service that I'm not currently providing. The content stuff, I've been listening to your questions. I have it figured out, so I don't need a ton of actionable advice on new content. I will ask for that in the comments of those specific videos. And you guys have given me a huge, great roadmap and a plan for the remainder of the year and part of next year already for that. So thank you so much for that. But I really need help figuring out the logistics of what's the most practical thing that I can offer all of you that you need to invest in. And to be honest, the reason I bring it up is not really for the sake of wanting to figure out where I can make the most money, so much as I realize personally, as a business person, because I'm going to have to do another video about this topic, so I'm teasing you guys with this, just like I'm teasing you with the bad storytelling thing, which the Victims of Bad Storytelling video is coming, so make sure you're subscribed and staying tuned for that. And also, I still need to know if you're a victim of bad storytelling and to let me know why. Like where you talked into going to school when it wasn't practical for you, where you talked out of starting a business because it really was practical for you, but people didn't understand and they talked you out of it. Like, let me know those kind of stories. Let me know if you're a victim of bad storytelling. But the thing I want to talk about with investment is, if I pay for a book on my bookshelf or in my Kindle, I read it. But I can tell you right now, there are 30 free ebooks I haven't read because I didn't make an investment, so I have no skin in the game, so I have no reason to execute because there's not enough anxiety. But if I pay for something, I am not wasting that money, so it will be used over and over again, and I will beat the crap out of it until it breaks because I spent money on it. Like, real talk. I'm dead serious about that. I'm the kind of person who wears shoes until they wear out, and that's not always good. I'm going to stop doing that because as a cross-country and track runner, I know that's bad for me from a health standpoint. So I'm going to invest in my health by buying sneakers more readily and shoes more readily and buying my insoles and all those things that I know I'm supposed to do, especially now that I've invested in my gym membership. So no more of that. Bad, Roberto. So I will be more healthy because that's a real investment in your life. But I say that to say that I want to create products that you guys will invest in and buy because there's so much of my free content and there are honestly so many of you that are not executing on it that's problematic for you, and it's certainly problematic for me because it means that I'm not helping you. And so if I make you have a somewhat of a paywall for something that you will execute on that's very practical, there's a better chance that you will do it and it will make a real difference in your life. And that's what I really want for you. And I know that made sense for me. I know that reading Grant Cardone, reading Pat Flynn, reading Gary Vaynerchuk, listening to them in the audiobooks, Nicole Lapin, by the way, buy her book as an audiobook. It's so much better than the book, and it's really good if you want to learn about managing your finances. But all those things made a real difference in my life. I can't tell you how much investing in this iPhone and investing in my Nikon camera and all my lenses, you guys know what that's done for me. You know that's grown my business. You know that I've got 10 and 50 and 100x return on investments on those things since I bought them. Like particularly the camera, that's more than 100x investment over the last 3 years. I guarantee you. This iPhone, I guarantee you that whatever I spent on it, I probably have 5x'd on that specifically for live streaming. For what? Nope. I already know I have because the live stream with Periscope, with the consulting that I generated from that, yep, absolutely. And Facebook Live. So, yeah, I can actually tell you that I legitimately 10x'd my investment on the iPhone 6S. Real talk. So that matters. So I really just want you to think about smart investments, investing in your ability to execute and educate yourself, invest in your health and well-being, and invest in your relationships because they matter. And so that's it for today's episode of Dear Entrepreneurs. If you guys enjoyed that, remember to let me know the stuff I asked for in the comment section, and of course, create something awesome today.